Namaste friends, Namaste. Welcome to the class number 3 in the module 2, that is the block diagram reduction techniques. In the previous classes, we have given the introduction to the what the meaning of block diagram and also we discussed few rules in the block diagram reduction techniques. So in this class, we are going to continue further the what are the various rules are there in the block diagram reduction techniques. So today we are going to discuss the rule number 6, that is shifting the takeoff point before the block. So let us consider a situation. So I am having an input of R and there is a block G1 and let me take Y as the output. So what is the C will be equal to? The C output will be equal to R into G1. So this is the output. So if there is a takeoff signal over here, so takeoff signal I am going to take this one as Y. So what is this Y is equal to? I am taking the signal from this point. So this will be equal to same as C. So it will be R G1. See, so here the Y is having a signal of R into G1. Okay. So what is the rule? Shifting the takeoff point before the block. Suppose in the problems I may have some situations are there. I need to shift the takeoff point before the block. So if I shift the takeoff point before the block, so what happens? So I am going to rewrite this one. So R is the input, G1 is the block we have, C is the output. What is the C we have? R G1. Okay. So now I am shifting the takeoff point before the block G1. So now what is the output signal here? So when it was here the takeoff signal, the output is RG1. But now the takeoff signal I am taking this one, right? So what is this one? It will be R. So but what I needed is R into G1. But I am getting only the R. So therefore what I need to do? So in such conditions, I need to add a block to this takeoff signal. So which block I am going to add? I am going to add the same block G1. Okay. See, I am just jumping this block G1 before it. So therefore I am going to add the same block G1. So then what will be the output? So it will be RG1. So there is no output there is no change in over here. So there will be change in the feedback signal only. So here also RG1, here also RG1. So what is the conclusion from this rule is, if I am going to shift the takeoff signal before the block, so then I need to add that block to this takeoff signal. So this is what the rule number 6. Okay. So now let us consider a situation. I am going to discuss about the rule number 7. Shifting takeoff point after the block. After the block. So what is the meaning of this? So this is a condition. So C is the output. What is the output? RG1. Okay. Let us consider the situation. I am having a takeoff signal over here. So what is the output from this? So this the feedback signal will be R only. So the output remains the same. There is no change in the output. So now what I am doing is shifting takeoff point after the block. So that means I am going to shift this takeoff point after the block. Then what is the modifications I need to do? There should not be any changes in the feedback signal. That is the objective. So in such cases, if I shift the takeoff point after the block G1, so R is the input, and what is there is no change in the output. So the output remains the same. Even after the shifting the takeoff point or before and after, the output remains the same. But there is a change in the feedback signal. So the feedback signal should be same in that case also. So what I am getting is R. But when I shift the takeoff signal after the block G1, what is the output I am going to get? So it will be R G1. G1. So now I need to eliminate this G1. So then what I am going to do is I am going to add a block which is reciprocal of this block to this feedback signal 1 by G1. So then what happens? So 1 by G1 into R into G1. G1 get cancelled. So I am going to get the signal only as R. So here also I am getting the signal is R. After shifting the takeoff point after the block, I am also getting the R. There is no change in the feedback signal. So the output of this feedback signal here also same and here also same. So what is the conclusion from this rule? So when I need to shift the takeoff point after the block, so then I need to add a block which is reciprocal of this block to the feedback signal. So this is what the rule number 7. Okay. Next one. Rule number 8. Okay, so now let us discuss about the rule number 8. What is the rule number 8? Removing minor feedback loop. Okay, removing the minor feedback loop. What is the meaning of minor feedback loop? Means, so this condition we can say, we can consider this as a minor feedback loop. What are the elements are there in a minor feedback loop? We have input, summing point, one block is there, feedback signal, takeoff point, feedback block and back to the summing point. So this condition we are going to call this one as minor feedback loop. So how we can reduce this minor feedback loop? Already we have derived how to write the transfer function of this minor feedback loop. What is that? So this is the minor feedback loop. So this can be written as what? So R of S is the input. We can reduce to a single block. We can single block, that is the G of S divided by 1. Here what we have, plus or minus. Okay, if there is a plus symbol, here it should be a minus symbol. If it is a plus minus symbol, so here it should be a plus symbol. Here plus or minus, here it will become minus of plus G of S into H of S. The output remains the same, C of S. So this what we are going to call as reducing minor feedback loop. So whenever we find this situation in the problem, we can reduce this to a single block by applying this formula, that is G of S divided by 1 minus of plus G of S into H of S. You should not get confused. So I will repeat once again. If there is a plus symbol over here, so here it will be minus. Okay. If there is a negative loop, that is the minus is there, so here it will be plus. So that is what the changes in the formula. Okay. So here plus or minus, here it will be minus or plus. Okay. So this is what removing minor feedback loop. Until now we have discussed 8 different rules. Still there are there are 3 rules are there. The rule number 9, 10 and 11. So these 3 rules I am going to discuss at the end. End means whenever there is a requirement, when I am going to solve that kind of problems, then I am going to discuss those rules. Because if I start explaining all those things, it will get confused. That's why I am going to stop at this stage. Now I am going to take up the problems on this. Okay. So before going to start with the problems, we have different rules are there. Now we should know which rule should be applied first or which rule should be applied to the last. So that is very much important. Then only we can able to solve the problem. So that's why the heading will be the procedure for solving the block diagram reduction. Okay. So we have rules. Now we should know the procedure how to solve the problem. So there are totally 6 rules are there. procedure to solve the block diagram reduction. What is the first procedure? First step is to identify the blocks which are connected in series. So first we need to identify the blocks which are connected in series. So if there is a series, then what we have to do? We need to multiply all those blocks and we need to write it as single block. So that is the procedure step number 1. So what is the step number 2? So this will be series. Okay. Next, identify the blocks which are connected in parallel. That is the rule number, the procedure number 2. So parallel, we need to apply this rule. Second one. Next one, third one. So the third one is okay. The third one is we need to reduce the minor feedback loop. After applying this rule number, the first step and the second step, we need to reduce minor feedback loop. So if we find any minor feedback loop, we need to reduce that one. So already we discussed what is the formula for that one. So what is the fourth step? We need to shift the takeoff point as much as possible to the left side, okay, and we need to shift the summing point as much as possible to the left side. Sorry. So we need to shift the takeoff point as much as possible to the right side, and we need to shift the summing point as much as possible to the left side. Then apply the rule of this and reduce the minor feedback loop. So that is the fourth step. So we need to what? Shift takeoff point to the left. And shift summing point to the right. Shift the takeoff point to the right side. Shift the takeoff point to the left. I'm getting confused. Sorry, this one will be right, and this one will be left. Okay, shift the takeoff point toward the right side, and as much as possible shift the summing point. Takeoff point to the right side, summing point to the left side. So as much as possible, don't apply the critical rules. That is a continuation of the step number 4. As much as possible, don't apply the critical rules number 10 and 11. This critical rules 10 and 11, rule number 10 and 11 is called as critical rules. So as much as possible, don't apply the rule number 10 and 11 until it is required. Okay, if it is not at all required, if you apply, you are not going to get the marks for that. You are going to arrive at the wrong answer. So that's why. So as much as possible, try to avoid the rule number 10 and 11. Okay, that is the step number 4. Next, what is the step number 5? We need to repeat the same step from 1 to 4 until the minor feedback loop is applied. So we need to continue the same step until the minor loop is applied. At the last rule number 6, that is step number 6 is to, we need to apply the minor feedback loop, and we need to find out the transfer function of a given system. So these are the different steps are there, it is a procedure to apply the various rules and to get the final transfer function. Okay, so these are the things we need to know before solving the problem. So now I open for the question. Okay, please note on this problem. So what is the objective of this problem is to identify find out the transfer function of a given block diagram by applying the block diagram reduction techniques. So we need to find out the transfer function by applying the block diagram reduction techniques. So what is the first step? We have discussed 8 rules. So what is the first step? So identify whether any blocks are in series. That is the first step or procedure number 1. So you have to identify apply in this block diagram, are there any blocks which are in series? So here G1, G2, the block G1, G2 are in series. So that we need to write it like this. We need to mention that the dotted lines, and we need to write a statement over here. Block G1 and G2 are in series. Okay, so this is the first step I am going to apply. So what is the next step I am going to apply? Identify the blocks which are in parallel. So identifying this, are you able to find any blocks which are in parallel? Yes, we can find. So G4 and G3, these two blocks are in parallel. How we can say the blocks are in parallel? So when the flow of signal must be in same direction. Flow of signal must be in same direction. Then only we can say the blocks are connected in parallel. And also we see here, so these two signals are ending at this summing point. So then only we can say the blocks are connected in parallel. So you need to write another sentence. What is that sentence you are going to write? Block G4 and G3 are parallel. Okay, I am going to apply these two steps, and once again I am going to redraw this one. So these two blocks are in parallel. I am going to redraw this one. So how I am going to write? Here R of S. I am having a summing point 1 and having a summing point 2. So here with the positive feedback and here with the negative. So here two blocks are in series. What we have to do? We need to multiply these two blocks and we need to write a single block. So after this, so it will be G1 into G2. Okay. So next what we have? We have these two blocks are in parallel. Then what we have to do? We need to do the algebraic summation. Okay, if nothing is there, that means it is a plus symbol only. So then it will be written as what? G4 plus G3. Okay. After applying this rule, that is the blocks are in parallel. So I am doing the algebraic summation. So then this summing point will vanish. So therefore I am getting the output C of S. What else I have? I have this feedback loop, feedback signal, that is the H1. Okay, and this is the feedback from here, and having another feedback block with the H2, and from here I am getting the feedback. Okay, so I am reducing by applying the difference rules. So this block has been reduced to this one. So once again we need to apply the different rule. What is step number 3? What is step number 3? Okay. What is step number 3 is identify if there is any minor feedback loop is there or not. So identify the minor feedback loop. So in this, so where is the minor feedback loop? See, please pay attention. Here we have a summing point. One block is there. So here we have a takeoff and there is a feedback. Okay. So this is what? A minor feedback loop. So this is a minor feedback loop. Okay. So rule number 8. So I am going to apply the formula. What is that formula? G of S divided by 1 plus R minus G of minus R plus G of S into H of S. Okay, I am going to apply this formula. So this can be written as R of S. So having a summing point 1. So this I am going to rewrite with the symbol of what? Plus. Okay, with the symbol of plus. So what we have identified? So this is a minor feedback loop. So then this can be reduced to, I am writing this one. So what is G of S here? So G of S here is G1 into G2. So I am going to write that one, G1 into G2 divided by 1. Here it is a minus. If there is a minus in the formula, it will be what? Plus. Okay, so it will be G of S into H of S. What is G of S? G1, G2. What is H of S? It is H1. Okay, so this minor feedback loop has been reduced to a single block. So after that, I am going to redraw it. Remaining terms, there is a G4 plus G3. So output C of S. And we have another feedback signal. What is that? It's a block H2 and come here. Okay, so this is what the rule number 3. Next, what is the rule number 4? As much as possible, try to shift the takeoff point to the right side. As much as possible, shift the summing point to the right side. That is required to apply the rules. Already the summing point is to the left side and takeoff point is to the right side. There is no need to apply the rule. Uncritical rule number 10 and 11 is also not required in this condition. Next, what is the step number 5? We need to repeat the same steps from 1 to 4 until we get the minor feedback loop and we can find out the transfer function. Okay, we are going to repeat once again. What is the first step? We need to identify any blocks are in series. Yes, here so these two blocks are in series. Right, these two blocks are in series. And what we have to do? Once again, we need to apply that. We need to do the multiplication, right? We need to multiply the two blocks, and I am going to redraw it. So this can be written as what? R of S. So you can summing point. So these two I am going to multiply. So this can be written as G1 G2 into G4 plus G3. G4 plus G3 divided by 1 plus G1, G2 and H1. And finally, what we have? Output is C of S. And what is the feedback signal? What we have is a plus, and here it is H2. Okay. So this is after reducing from this step to this. Now what is the next step? See, so this looks like a minor feedback loop. Once again, we are going to apply this formula as G of S by 1 minus R plus G of S into H of S, and we are going to find out the transfer function of the given block diagram. Okay, I am going to apply that. Okay, so I am going to apply this. So what is the G of S here? So this is the G of S term. So that will be G1, G2, G4 plus G1, G2, G3. Okay, divided by what? 1 plus G1, G2, H1. So this is what the G of S is. So divided by 1. So now here it should be plus or minus. So in this we have a plus symbol. So therefore here it will be minus. So what is G of S? This whole term is called as G of S. I need to redraw this one. G1, G2, G4 plus G1, G2, G3 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H1 into what? G of H of S. What is H of S? It is H2. Okay. So this is the transfer function of the given system. So input is what? R of S, and the output is the C of S. Okay. So after you need to do the simplification, you need to cross multiply, you can cancel this and this and all those things, you can simplify this and we can find out the final transfer function of a given block diagram. Okay, so this is how we need to apply the various rules by following that procedure, and we need to arrive at the final transfer function of a given block diagram. Okay, so just I'm going to end the class. Thank you. Namaste.